Okay, welcome to our first coffee and closings of 2025. We here at Clear Title are really excited to talk to you guys about goals this year. As we look at what we're doing and how we are operating this year at Clear Title, one of the things that's super important to us, obviously, are our agents and lenders. So the people that are bringing us business, you're our clients. So your success is what is most important to us. And as we start building relationships with you, you get to know us and we get to know you. We want to make sure that we're giving you tools that help you build your business. So today, with Coffee and Closings, we are wanting to help you set goals. We all have places we want to be at the end of the year. And wouldn't it be great if someone could give us a roadmap to get there? So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started with our presentation. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. All right, and can you guys all see the coffee and closings over here? Good deal. So today we are talking about goal hacking 2025. And when I started to think about goals in December of last year, that's usually the time that I sit down and start making my goals for the following year. But not all of us had that time this year. I felt like we kind of got rushed a little bit. My December was kind of crazy. So sometimes it's nice to have a little assistance. But let's talk about goals this morning in your business. So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but at the beginning of the year, we all like to set goals. And within the first month of the year, 80% of us have already thrown those goals out the window. In fact, and I don't know if you guys know this, but January 19th, which is like 11 days from now, is actually called Quitter's Day because people quit on their goals. Even more staggering is that 94% of people by the second month of the year, that's February, have given up on their goals. That leaves 6% of us, just 6%, one possible real estate commission away from are the number of people that actually stick with their goals longer than 2 months. That's not even people that stick with them all the way through to the end, but at least 2 months or over 2 months, just 6% of us. What we want today is to help you figure out how to be part of that 6% rather than part of that 94% that quit. And we think we've got some solutions to our goal problems. So why do we fail? Why do we give up on our goals? Well, a lot of times because we tend to think in black and white, and it's all or nothing. We can either have 100% of the goal or 0% of the goal. And that is a dangerous way to think and a dangerous precedent to set in your head. We also sometimes make really vague goals. I want to do better. I want to be thinner. I want to go on a vacation, things that are not very vague, or I want to make $10 million this year. And last year you made 12,000. That's not very realistic. We can be vague or we can be unrealistic. And either way, we're setting ourselves to be part of that 94% and not part of the 6%. We can also base our goals on external pressure and not genuine desire. Like I know in the real estate space, I should want to have $1 million listings, or I should want to drive a Mercedes, or I should want to, but is that really what I want? For me, I really want to help people find housing. And for me, I really want to help agents build a better business. Those are the things that I really want. But a lot of times there are pressures in our industry, industry standards, industry norms, or what the other agents in your office are doing that can have you setting goals that aren't really what you want. And at the end of the day, if it's not what I want, Am I going to be motivated and stay motivated to do it? Probably not. And the final thing, and a big reason, is that we don't have structural support. We don't have that inner circle of people who are trying to get us to the next level, holding us accountable to what we said we wanted to do. And that is dangerous because if I don't have a cheerleader and I don't have a support system and I don't have someone who's helping me get where I want to go, then it becomes very difficult for me to stay on track, find the path, and get there. So, what do we do? The first thing we want to do is check our head. And so, right now, I'm going to build in just a little bit of time for us to go through these steps and start focusing in on maybe what we do want to set for our goals. So, our first thing is to identify what is our why? Why are we doing this? I'm not just doing this job to look good for other people. I'm doing it for a reason. So, what is your why? Why don't we take just a moment here and contemplate what is our why? Now, when I think about my why, um, it goes back to purpose for me. I'm a very purpose, not to sound cheesy or like a book title, I'm a very purpose-driven individual. So when I find purpose in what I'm doing, I can excel and I can find that internal drive to get me where I want to go. And so for me, my purpose is to bring and spread more love and abundance to the people that I'm around. And that is my why. That is at the end of the day, if I go down those 7 levels asking why, that is what I feel like I'm here to do, is to love people and bring abundance to people and bring imagination to people. So that's what my why is. Next, after we have that ideal, that thing, we want to take some time to go inward and meditate on what that is. And while we're in that space of ourselves, really start crafting a vision, crafting a picture of what it looks like to be at that place where we've achieved our goal. And as we formulate that, it's going to start informing our actions to bring that into a real place in our lives. So I want us just to take a minute to close our eyes. And if you're joining us after the fact, I just want you to take a minute. I'm going to actually time it. Take a minute, just 60 seconds, and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and let it out. And one more deep breath in and let it out. And go into that space inside yourself, that space that is the heart of who you are. And ask yourself, what is my purpose? What is my why? And some of you will already have that clearly before you, and some of you are searching. And some of you, a minute will be plenty of time, and some of you, an hour isn't long enough. But in this space, hold on to whatever comes to you first. and build a small vision around what that is. What is it to be the top producer in your office? What is it to help 20 families find homes this year? What does that feel like in your body? What does it feel like after you close the transaction? And find that place of joy inside of you. All right, now you can open your eyes and come back to us here, focusing on that vision, focusing on that feeling, relaxing into that place inside of you is going to help start informing your actions. And as you act in joy, not desperation, not hyper competition, but in joy, you will find that you accelerate your movement toward making that vision a real thing. And on the practical side, I am part of an organization that is led by a very dynamic woman who is all about tracking. So I'm going to say you can identify, meditate, have your vision, start doing your actions, but you better track. You better track, 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 track. And if you need help with trackers, please let me know and we will find you or get you copies of trackers. So if you need a tracker, you can drop it in the chat, you can direct message me, you can leave me a comment, and we will help you get the trackers you need. We like to track money and leads and our business. So leads and then clients. So those are the three main trackers that we use in our business. I think they're helpful for most businesses. If you need help with any of those three, please let me know and I'll be happy to get that for you. And then the most important thing is for us to repeat, right? Many of us give up because we have that all or nothing thinking. If we can stop the all or nothing thinking, it allows us to, when we get off track, get back on track. If you're going into something with an all or nothing perspective and motivation, then you are going to get off track and be like, well, nothing. And you can't get back on track. So when you get off track, you go back to the top of this list and you start over. You're going to identify, then you're going to meditate. Then you're going to visualize. Some of you will need to meditate for a day. Some of you will meditate for a week. Some of you will meditate for a year. Whatever it takes for you to get that vision that informs your action and joy, go back to that every time that you find yourself getting in the doldrums. I know for me, winter is such a great time to cultivate visions and things because it's colder and it's slower. And a lot of times we don't have quite as much external noise happening. And then spring happens. And if you're here in Michigan in real estate, we all know in spring, we don't sleep. We get up and we go, 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 go. So make sure that in your going, if you fall off track, start back again at the top. Make that time for yourself to identify, meditate, and visualize. When we do that, when we identify, meditate, and visualize, it really helps us get into a breakthrough mindset that is going to bring us and catapult us toward our goals. So, one of the teachers that I have loved learning from is Tony Robbins, and this is a bit of his program. And I do coaching with them, but this is part of their program. Being very aware that when you are looking to break through and get to those goals, you need to be very careful about where you're coming from. So the most important thing in a breakthrough mindset is going to be the state at which you're approaching the problem, right? Or you're approaching the task, or you're approaching the objective. Your state, you want that to be a peak state. If I am super excited and I have high energy and high vibration, obviously I'm coming from a different place. I have a different level of thoughts happening. I have a different caliber of solutions that I can come up with and put together than if I'm down here in the doldrums and I'm depressed and I'm sad and I feel like a failure. I didn't do the things I was supposed to do. If I'm coming from this state that's very low, and you can even see it like in your body posture, come in and you come low, and can you really get solutions from a place that's closed down? Or if you're opened up and even like thinking about being in a higher energetic state, in a higher place of energy and flowing and power, I automatically open up. And from this place, from this peak state, I can come up with the solutions that I need. I can come up with the objectives. I can come up with the plan, the strategy, and all of the things. If I'm up here, it's going to be a way better solution, way better chance of success than if I'm down here. From this peak state, and guys, you can do this anytime. If you find yourself down here, take a minute. You can go back to the steps on the last slide. Identify what's happening. Change your state. Sit up straight. Pull your shoulders back. Take a deep breath in. Recall a memory. This is a really important thing, especially with Tony Robbins' work. Recall a memory of a time that you were in a peak state, in a great state. Hold on to that memory. Let that memory change your state in an instant so that you can tell a story that works and serves you. If you're telling a story that works and serves you, that is where your solutions lie. So we're going to get into a peak state. Then we write the story. And that story of success, that story of joy, that story of why unlocks your ideal strategy. And that is where the foundation is laid, in that strategy. So make sure you get up into a peak state where you can write the story. I know lots of us struggle with stories that go on in our heads. We have what I call the mean girl track, or that track that tells me I didn't do this right, and I didn't do that right, and I'm not pretty enough, and I'm not thin enough, and I'm not successful enough, and my bank account isn't big enough. All of these stories that when I snap into my peak state, disappear, and I can tell the true story, the story that serves me, the story that gets me to the strategy, that gets me to the place I want to be, that I am pretty enough, that things on the outside don't matter. What's on the inside matters, and what is there is gold. Then I have the strategy that I need. So my breakthrough mindset is intact. I've done the work, and now I'm ready to start setting goals, specific goals, measurable goals, achievable goals, relevant goals, and goals that are bound by time. These are your SMART goals. The most important thing, and I feel like where a lot of us fail in goals, is in this very first set, the specific step. We tend to be too vague. I want my life to be better. We don't put in the time to say, what does that better life look like? I want to take my family on a trip to Europe where we travel to 5 different countries that I have wanted to go to. We stay in hotels that are nice. We eat food that is amazing. We don't think about the amount of money that we're spending. We are going to go to Europe and we're going to do it up big time. That's specific as opposed to, I want something better. What is the better that you want? What is the thing that you're trying to achieve specifically? I'd like to be $1 million producer. The more specific you can be, the more detailed picture you can paint, the more likely you are to achieve that goal and that target, hit that target. Measurable. We want it to be something that we can quantify. If you're wanting to make a certain amount of money, be specific. Try and be more specific than $1 million or $100,000. Go inward and listen for a number and let that number come out. It's very rarely going to be a round number. Might be something like $150,833. Be as specific as you can be, because the more specific you are, the better target you have to go for. Make sure that it is something that is achievable. You don't want to have a goal of jumping off of a building and flying. That is not an achievable goal. Our bodies were not designed to do such things. So please don't try that, right? Now, it needs to be achievable for you, because the point is you have to come to a place where you believe it in order to achieve it. If you can't see it, you can't achieve it. If you can't see it, you can't have it. So it needs to be achievable for you. If you made $12,000 this year and $1 million seems like an impossible dream, don't set your goal at $1 million. Set it at what you can believe and maybe stretch that just a little, just a little. And then give yourself a time frame in which to achieve it. Now, for the purposes of our exercise today, we're giving ourselves the whole year. It's a long time. So make sure that you have that time. If it's something you want to do in a month, if it's something you want to do in a week, if it's something you want to do, I have goals that I want to achieve this week. We're Wednesday. We're halfway there. And I'm in my brain tracking that. Where am I? Where am I with my goals? How close am I to my goal? If it's a month, where are you? It's the beginning of the month. How have you started off right? If it's the year, we're at the beginning of the year. We're going to have a whole plan by the time we're done with this, and it's going to be great. All right, next, you want to leverage your team and technology. Once we have the strategy written down, once we have the SMART goals, then we've got to start putting together the team that's going to help get us there. Now, we are all in real estate, and real estate is very much a team sport. There are a lot of moving parts in a real estate transaction. There are a lot of things that can happen and go wrong. There are lots of questions that our clients have, our buyers and our sellers. There are a lot of questions that other realtors have. There are a lot of questions that lenders have, title companies. There's so many of us, inspectors and appraisers, that are all working together. I always have told my clients that it is a miracle when we get to the closing table. You have no idea how many people had to come together and do their part so that you could be here signing today. We have to build a team. Who are your partners? Who are your lending partners? Who are your realtor partners? Who are your title partners? Are these people that are really helping you move your business forward, or are they standing in the way of your progress? And that's something that you have to evaluate every day. Is Bob helping me get to the next place? Or is Bob standing in the way of me getting to the next place? Is Bob's energy bringing me down all the time? Or is Bob part of my team? He's encouraging me, he's helping me, he has good information. We have a great exchange, we brainstorm well together. Is my title company helping me, or are they standing in the way? Is my lender partner helping me, or are they standing in my way? Are they throwing up roadblocks? Are they making things more complicated? Now, we don't always have choice in the people that are in our transactions. But when we do have a choice, when you do have a choice, choose wisely. Choose people that are going to help elevate you and keep you and get you to that peak state. Choose people that are going to pour into you knowledge, be there to answer questions, and be a resource for you and your clients. Not someone who, that's not my job. I don't do that. That's not my job. I don't do that. I'm very proud to say here at Clear Title, we really do work diligently to help you get where you need to go in your transaction. We know our goal is to get to that closing table, and we're going to do things to help you get there. Your next big thing on your team or in your team technology leverage system are your trackers, and make sure that you're not just have those trackers. They don't do you any good if you don't fill them out. So please fill them out and schedule time for yourself to review them. Schedule time to review that lead tracker sheet. Schedule time to review that client sheet. Schedule time, especially to review your money tracking worksheets and trackers, because you need to know where you are. If you want to get to where you're going, you have to know where you are. And then finally, leverage technology. Leverage technology. Right now, it's unprecedented in real estate what we have available to us. I'm super excited today. We're going to be talking about this ChatGPT prompt that has really helped us at Clear Title reverse engineer our goals and figure out what we need to be doing every day, every week, every month, every quarter. This is one of the things. This was one of the suggestions from ChatGPT, the development of coffee and closings and a way to connect with agents every month on a monthly basis and bring something of value to you. This is part of us leveraging our team. So without further ado, I want to talk about the ChatGPT prompt. The idea is that you want to take your time and do your work to set up your goals, and then you input the information into AI. AI can't create anything without input in. So you want to go ahead and put your specific goals in, specific instructions for the GPT to do, and then see what comes out on the other end. When we did this, and I'm going to pull this up real quick for Clear Title. We got a 12-page document. I'm going to throw it over here real quick so you can see just kind of like what our goals look like. It broke it down into weekly actions, into mindset and accountability strategies, our daily non-negotiables, our follow-up and evaluation system, all of these things that we put in, spit out this amazing plan for us, and then it asked if we would like help implementing any specific area. So I said, oh, yes, I would absolutely like some help implementing. So we've got into social media and what should we be doing on social media? And you can go on and on and on, and then it'll say, would you like help with a script? Well, yes, I would like help with a script. Here's the kind of thing I would like to do. And ChatGPT is there just to give you all the information that you can possibly ever think of. And the beautiful thing about it is it does it so fast. Now, it's not going to do it perfectly. It's not going to be 100% perfect plan. You have to go in, but ChatGPT is going to do 80% of the work for you. And that is the leverage, right? If I can have 80% of my work done for me so that I just have to put the Jennifer into it to make it Jennifer's, then I have 80% more time to do the things and that I want to do, that I'm in my zone of genius doing. I didn't have to come up with, okay, if I'm thinking of a plan, what do I need to do quarterly? What do I need to do weekly? What do I need to do monthly? What do I need to do daily? I let ChatGPT build the framework, and then I could go in and tweak. And that's what this prompt will do for you. The chat here in our Zoom room has the link to this document on my Google Drive that you have access to copy and paste that. But what you'll do is insert a detailed description of your goal, including specifics like income, career level, and lifestyle. So you want to make sure that you're giving ChatGPT as much information as you can about you and how you work. It'll build you a better plan that way. It wants you to enter your skills. What skills are you good at? I have a lot of charisma. I love to speak. I like to work hard. I'm a great negotiator. There are a lot of skills that I'm bringing to the table that I'm putting into my plan to help it know what it needs to leverage for me to get to where I want to be. And then that's really your only inputs. You're going to go ahead then, and the rest of this is how it's going to break it down into quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily non-negotiables. And then it's also going to help you with frequency, how to evaluate, how to measure, and then what adjustments you can make to that. Um, it's also going to help you with mindset and accountability strategies. I mean, it's pretty comprehensive and quite an amazing tool to have. Now, one of the things I did want to talk about too was oops, not there. Back here on your team, one of the things that I really started to do the last 18 months is invest in myself. Invest in getting myself into places where people who are doing things that I want to do are, and where I would have access to more knowledge and building, because we eventually will run into a wall, right? We go as far as we can go, and I would say 18 months ago, I didn't even know what else was possible for me because I was the biggest part of my circle of people. When I switched and started seeking, well, what's next? I came into a community of people who were doing way more than I was doing, way more than I even knew how to want to do. And I started to acquire a lot of information. One of the biggest parts of my transformation was becoming part of the GoGetEm community. And the GoGetEm community is for entrepreneurs and real estate professionals, or not real estate professionals. Whatever you're looking to build in your life, the GoGetEm community is full of trainings. They have weekly trainings, they have monthly trainings. We had, after Thanksgiving this year, we had a huge Master Your Mind training where we had people from a whole bunch of different areas talk to us about mindset and things like that. We also had a course called Master Your Money. It's called the GoGetEm Community. It is absolutely a phenomenal way for you to next level your business. If you're looking for those tools, that education, whatever you need to get you to that next level, wherever you're trying to get to, I highly recommend it. It is quite amazing. I also have that link to check out and join the GoGetEm community here in the chat as well. So definitely click on that. If you're watching the rebroadcast of this, the link should be in the description here. So definitely check out GoGetEm as you look to build your team. That being said, we are done with the education portion of our coffee and closings, and we'll be moving into some masterminding here in just a second. But I want to first go through what else is coming up this year or over the next few months for you in coffee and closings. We're going to be talking about finding your ideal client, marketing that actually works, video. Who doesn't need some video tips? I know a lot of agents, because I've seen a lot of your videos, you need some tips. We all need some tips on how we can show up on video better, because that is where our whole industry is pushing us into. So if you can't get on video, you're really falling behind. And if you can't do video well, you are not leveraging that tool in the best way possible. So we're going to do a whole little session on video. Then we're going to talk about systems and automations, building your confidence, and then take a look at some routines of successful agents, because who doesn't need to know what those top agents are doing and how they are the way that they are. So we'll have some guest speakers coming over the next few months in this little space that we're creating for you. Coming up next month, our other big program this year helped to be created through our ChatGPT goals is this idea that we're going to do lunch for leverage. We're going to provide you with an opportunity to earn a CE credit. We're going to have lunch for you, because I don't know about you guys, but for me, a lot of times I forget to eat. So having lunch while I'm learning something is always a good leverage of my time. So we're calling it Lunch for Leverage, Learn, Leverage, and Lead. We'll be talking about leveraging AI, and we will also be doing a market update. We're partnering with Supreme Lending, who is a local lender here in the greater Lansing area. We're going to be holding that at Consumers Federal Credit Union, right down on Cedar. It's the brand new Consumers Federal Credit Union. They have a gorgeous community room there that we're going to be using to host our Lunch for Leverage in February. That's February 19th. So mark your calendars. All right, guys, that is all that I have for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed our very first coffee and closings, where we sip, strategize, and succeed. We look forward to seeing you next time right here in Zoom. Same link next month.